thank you all for joining us. And I'm really looking forward to this event. This is our 14th meetup. We're starting to do these things every month again. So, and the goal for these, we're going to do 2 a month. The first one will be or I don't know which order they'll be in, but we'll have one that's sort of a tech talk. We'll bring on someone from the industry. We just brought on Val King from White Hat Virtual, who talked about the idea of applying physics to IT, which was a really interesting conversation. If you missed it, definitely check out the recording. And today we have we're going to talk about DaaS IQ with the product manager Gilad Broun. So yeah, what do I say? We love these. These are wide open conversations. Feel free to ask us anything. Nothing's off limits. It's just a conversation. Think about it as this is your time with the product manager, right? To learn and dive deep and learn what's coming soon, things of that nature. Real quick, this is a community event, ControlUp Community. So if you're not a member, please join us, controlupcommunity.com/community. And yeah, the community is for you. It's that simple. How can we help you? It's the best question. The whole thing is based around sharing information with you, giving you access to product managers and the folks making the products and the folks doing the decisions. Things of that nature, right? We even have Yoni in the community quite often. Every day he's in there chatting with people, helping people, and he's one of our co-founders. So it's really transparent place for you to come in and feel safe being a techie, right? No sales, no marketing. So like I said, we do these things once a month. So for the July webinar meetup, we have we're going to talk about the MCP server and get into AI with ControlUp and how to use this MCP server. And I want to say MPC, but it's MCP, and that's difficult for me to say. I don't know why. So yeah, this one's quite interesting. You actually learn how to connect it into Claude. I mean, come on. So definitely don't want to miss this one. So there's a little QR code, and of course we'll share this, and it's in the community. That said, the last thing I have to say before we turn it over to D-Man is the Q&A is open, chat is open. So use the like and subscribe. Use the Q&A piece down below if you have any questions. So on that note, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to turn it over to Gilad to do his thing. So it's yours, my friend. Go for it.
Thank you, Douglas. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Let's see how it's done. Excellent. Yes, so DaaS IQ. DaaS IQ is our latest product, I think. And it's a standalone product, part of our portfolio, but it doesn't connect today. You will see it in the platform. And why we did DaaS IQ? Let's start with this. So I guess most of you are Citrix or Horizon, or you came from on-prem VDI solution. And as we see the market change, many customers are moving to cloud solution. And AVD is probably the most used cloud solution. And as our customer moved, some of them moved from Citrix, Horizon to AVD, there is new requirement, because what we took for granted, or what was very easy in the on-prem solution, now it's a little bit more cumbersome. It's more difficult to manage in Azure. And if we on-prem, we mostly were worried about performance. Now we are worried about cost, because it's cost a lot, right? And it's easy to lose control about how much things cost and what is costing you. So we saw a requirement from our customer that say, hey, we're using ControlUp to monitor performance, and we like it, but we now need also ability to control the infrastructure, the underlying cloud infrastructure. So deploy resource, delete resource, manage images, and mostly control costs. So that's why we did DaaS IQ. And again, in Azure is amazing. It's a great platform. You can do so many things there, but you will do them on all sorts of places, and it's not very straightforward. So what I'm going to show you today, well, we start with a demo. you will see the product as of today. And please know this is a new product. It's not, if you compare it to more mature product, it's not the same. We are focused on the infrastructure, on creating, deleting, receiving all of the metrics and working with Azure reliably. And we're adding features all the time, very, very fast. Every week we release a new version with new things. And after the demo, I will show you the roadmap, what I can share. And we'll finish with Q&As. And Douglas is watching the chat, so please drop any question you have, and I will answer them. And if it's something that relevant, Doug will stop me, and I will answer the question.
Perfect. And you mentioned you're releasing products all the time or features all the time. I just posted just like before we started this event that a few new features were released today, right?
Yeah, every week.
Every week.
We release. Yep.
Perfect.
We are
Well, go for it.
very fast. Yeah. And
Love
if
it.
you give us some feedback, you might see it like next week. It will be already in the product.
Love it.
So, yeah, thank you. So if you're coming from VDI, this will be probably familiar for you. We use the same navigation map for the first screen of DaaS IQ. It's more limited as the VDI, but we are adding more things and more action to it. So in the near future, we'll be able to do so much more. But right now, you can see all of your infrastructure in one place. It's update every minute, and you can change by filters so you can see everything. But I just dive right in. I want to go one step back. How you onboard to DaaS IQ? I love to show it because it's so fast. We call it a 1 minute onboarding. Basically, what you do is add a tenant. You will add the service principal. We will validate the service principal to see it's have all the required privileges and things. If something is missing, you will get a warning. Let's wait a second. So all of the requirements, you will see them. And again, it's very easy. If something is missing, the service principal doesn't have permission for anything, you will see it here, and it's very easy to fix it. You can see what the service principal can see, select what to import, which host pool to import into DaaS IQ. And once you finalize, it will take about a minute to see all the resource in DaaS IQ, and that's it. Nothing is deployed into your subscription. There is no cost assigned to you. Everything is API based. We are agentless, and we're not deploying anything. Everything is on our cloud. So again, it's very easy to onboard. Continue. The overview. You have a direct link to each resource from images, and again, you can't do sessions. Right now, you can't kick someone from here or restart host, but you will soon be able to do many actions directly from the overview. Host pools. This is probably the place you will be most of the time. Here, we are managing the host pools, and you will see what you expect. You in the upper tab, you will see FinOps data. What is costing you, trends, saving. If there is auto-scale saving, you will see them here, cost per active users. And in the lower, you will see in the tabs here, you will see performance metrics. And these are performance metrics that the autoscale is doing his decisions. And more about this later. And also in the overview, we'll see some configuration for this host. In the host, you'll be able to see host, their information, action on them. Same for session, no session. This is our demo environment. And I will jump on scaling. Let's go to settings. Settings, right now, we only have the session host configuration. So this is how new VM will be created in this host pool. All of the needed configuration to deploy new host are here. And the scaling policy. Scaling policy, again, is one of our most important features. And how we do scaling is very visual. I call it paint by number, but you can create policies. You can choose a policy and you can just paint the policy on the Gantt like a child book. It's very easy and very intuitive to understand what is happening when, and you have this line to show you what is the time of this current host pool. So if this host pool serve Eastern time, you will set it here, and you will see exactly what is the time, and the scaling profiles and policies are by this time. So everything is for this. And you can also manage the profile from here. So each link scaling profile, you will see them here, and you can change the configuration. This one is elastic. It's a dynamic, and what it means it's that it will create and delete hosts based on demand. You will see the minimum host pool, the maximum host, so it's the floor, the ceiling for this, the burst size, how many VMs to deploy each time. Here you can see the scaling triggers, like if it's CPU or memory threshold, these are optionals, and the free session, which are mandatory, and you have to configure this. What else? There is a stabilization window. So after a scale operation, if like 2 hosts just been created, we won't scale again until these stabilization windows will finish. So you can configure it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but based on this, we are waiting for the new session host to be online before we will scale out again. And experience. So this is the user experience, what the user will feel when we are scaling down, like when we're scaling in. So when we are starting to remove hosts from a host pool, we will notify the user. And here you can customize what the message that the users will receive. And they will receive it once we get the host into a train mode and before we log off, before we will force them to log off. So these are the scaling policies. Next, we have the image management. The image management basically is wrapping Azure Compute Gallery. What we will do is sorry, I just lost the camera. I can't see. You'll be able to import an image from exist VM or gallery or marketplace. 3 routes today, and we were adding another one soon with custom images. So what it does, you will select which VM to import, and what we will do is to create an image definition in Azure Compute Gallery. You will be able to choose which Azure Compute Gallery, and with this image definition, you will be able to publish a version. You see we have versions, and the published version today is very easy. We auto number, or you can do it manually. Right now, we only have few optimization, and soon we will have an application. I will talk more about this later. And you can choose which region to replicate this image. So if you have multi-regions, you can have this same image on multi-regions, so all of the host pool will use the same image. What else? Activity feed. Here you can track jobs, basically. Unlike audit, DaaS IQ is integrated into the audit log of ControlUp. So every user interaction is here. You can see everything that is happening in the system, but these are events, and activity feed are jobs, are things that are taking longer, like as you probably aware from Azure. Let's say publish an image and sync into a few regions. It's take time. Here you can see it took 26 minutes. So here you can see track this job, see the progress, what is happening. We also have event, and we are adding more information here, so you can. We are adding a breakdown for each step, so you're able to see what is exactly happening, and if something failed or there is any log, you will see on which step it happened. Yeah, and also system events. We just added. Excellent. What else? We are integrated into dashboard. I don't have a good demo for dashboard, unfortunately. I'm not very good with the dashboard. I did it twice and I forgot to save. But you're able to do many things in dashboard. We have the provider and many data and endpoint. Really, I think all of the information is available, and it's important to say that we have an API. So all of the information in DaaS IQ and action, you can consume them with API and to integrate them to other systems. So really, we have a very robust API backend. That's it about what we have. Let me get back to the presentation. And any question before I continue?
We do have a few. Let me clear my throat. We do have a few questions. So we have two that are similar. One is how to activate, and the other one asks, is DaaS IQ will be released soon? So maybe you can explain how this product is sold, licensed, where to find it, that whole thing.
Excellent. So DaaS IQ is GA, but right now it's only in limited availability. If you are a ControlUp customer, ask someone from your sales team, and they will open DaaS IQ for you and will provide you with a trial license. That was the first one. The second one, DaaS IQ is a separate license. It's not included in the ControlUp ONE bundle. So again, talk with your sales team, and they will be able to provide you with the information. And yeah, they will love to have a conversation. Just ask them about DaaS IQ, and they will open this.
Yeah,
Something I
absolutely.
forgot from the questions?
I'm sorry, say that last bit again.
Was there any question that I forgot? No, two questions, right?
No, those were the two questions. Yeah, you got those perfectly. So
Okay.
the answer is reach out to your sales folks. If you don't have one, feel free to reach out to me and I'll get you in touch with the right people. So that's always the case. If you ever have a question, you don't know what to turn, just reach out to me. I'll find out the right person for you. So
Yeah,
good to
and
go.
also I think one of the best ways, if you don't have a sales person, go to the community. There is a
Yeah,
DaaS
thank
IQ
you.
channel, ask there, and we will jump helping you, really.
Absolutely. Thank you for throwing in the pitch for the community. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we have a couple more questions already. So can we add multiple AVD subscriptions and
Yeah.
monitor with DaaS IQ?
Yeah, you can
Yes?
add multi-tenants. Yeah.
Perfect. And the next one's a long one. So let's see if I can see it. First off, love the ControlUp platform and what you guys have been doing. Thank you. I have functionality need that I need to clarification on. I'm working to configure non-persistent AVD pools to replace on-prem Citrix MCS non-persistent pools. Being that the disks are costly in preview state with AVD, I've been trying to use PowerShell to perform scheduled reboots to reset these machines back to the gold image state. It's not working. So I'm looking for a tool. Does ControlUp DaaS IQ support automating these non-persistent configurations? or how does ControlUp compare that with the Nerdio solution?
So, okay, there was some few questions.
Th-
First of all,
That's a
you
lot of
try
questions,
to,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And first of all, you try to do the same as you did on-prem, right? Like it was, you said the Citrix, I don't remember, but like they were non-persistent. You will create them on Monday and delete them on Friday or every day. And in AVD, it's a bit different. But you can do this functionality with DaaS IQ. As I saw, each host will have the configuration of how to deploy images. But for some reasons, I think it's a very big topic. Most customers don't deploy and delete VMs daily because many times you will get limits. Azure, like every cloud provider, there is all the time some limit capacity all everywhere. And if you really need this resource, you will usually just power them down, deallocate them to save cost. This is what we mostly see. But both of the options are there. You can do both of them. And what was the other question?
Oh. Does DaaS IQ support automating these non-persistent configurations? How does how does the control compare to the competition?
So I said it, I think in the at start that we don't compare, right? We are a new product, and if you compare us to a more mature product like that are there for years, we are not there. Okay, we are very honest with this. We don't put ourselves directly as of them. We come from a different approach. We are more focused on the experience, the performance, and now we are have this gap about cost, AVD cost and management. And this is the gap that we are feeling. But I don't think we will get to a point that we will be comparing directly. We are focusing on high value features and capabilities that our customers are asking for. Saying that, absolutely, yeah, we can't say we are not competing. We do compete. Okay, we do compete on the same space, but we are not in the same maturity.
Maybe you can answer the question or share some. What value does a solution like DaaS IQ coupled with the ControlUp platform? What does that
Absolutely.
bring? Because I know there's a lot of things that because we have this piece, we can do so much here. Maybe you can share some of that.
Absolutely. And this is touching the roadmap. So right now we are standalone. But if you're looking at the broader ControlUp portfolio, we can do so much, right? You have so many capabilities that you can consume and have a unified experience with the platform. And maybe some of this answer will be, sorry, some question will be answered with the roadmap. But yeah, our power is being part of the platform. Okay, because we have so many capabilities that I will show you how we're going to integrate them soon with DaaS IQ. Okay,
Okay, perfect.
cool.
I have one more question for you, if you don't mind, and that is,
Yeah, sure.
can we generate cost reports from DaaS IQ?
So we don't have reports yet, but I will show something. Okay,
Cool.
I will show what we will have soon, and I think it will answer this question. Okay. Okay, so I can continue, Douglas, or anything else?
No, please go for it.
Excellent. So I showed you what we have today, and this is like a recap of everything. But I want to continue with what coming next, because I think this is very exciting and interesting to see what is the direction. And you're talking with the product manager, so I need to say it's subject to change. I don't promise anything. Dates Again, we're not promising anything, but it's something we are targeting for the next 2 to 3 months, all of what I'm going to show you. But no
It
promise.
just might, it just might happen to show up on a Monday, right? Or once a week.
I can say, yeah.
We can't
But
promise,
things
but it
are
might.
change fast because customer feedback, right? If you talk with me and said, hey, we need this and this, and when we have customers today, we might change priorities to what most value for our customers. But this is something I can say it's coming soon. So let's start with create host pool. I thought all of you were wondering, you can create a host pool today with DaaS IQ? No, we only able to import, but this is something we are releasing very soon. You will be able to create a host pool with everything, with the session host configuration, how to deploy a host, and the scaling policy, all in one guided wizard flow. So you're able to create new host pool or import from Azure. Because I show you how you can import them today, we're going to make it more simple. So this is, I think, our last big, like the big reason to open Azure Portal. And what we aim to is that you won't need to go to Azure Portal for anything. Everything you'll be able to do in DaaS IQ. Next one is the reimage hosts. You will be able to select few hosts or the whole host pool and to update the image. You will have some strategy, like if it's a rolling or it will keep the VMs, or just like deploy new VMs, delete the old one, or just replace one by one. And that way you can save the new configuration, the identity, so it reuse the same machine. And again, you can control, it's very managed way to do it. You can control how many hosts at once. Okay, we have it in percentages. And of course, what it will do, it will drain host and only replace them. So it's very managed, and you can say it if you want to if it will be very gentle or very forced. So this is something that also coming soon. And I think this is the biggest from this conversation, because ControlUp doesn't have the ability to deploy application today. And this is something we are building right now. We are creating an application catalog where you will be able to manage the application and versions you want to allow into your organization. And you will manage it in one place. But this catalog will be consumed in many of our products. You will be able to add these application groups into DaaS IQ into the image, so it will be baked in the image process. So when it publish it, it will deploy this application into the golden image, or you can add them into the session, the host pool, and then it will be added into the session host. But this app catalog is, as I said, it's shared across the platform. So you will be able also to use this application with ControlUp for compliance, or for devices or any application inside of this inside our portfolio. So again, it will be one catalog of application shared into the platform and consumed by many products. I think this is brilliant. We are starting with Windows application only. The source will be a customized application, so you can set your own binaries, and also Winget, because we saw Winget is so popular, and it's a huge repository, and it's updated frequently. So we're going to use both of them in the first phase in our what we call MVP, and we will add more and more things later on. So stay tuned. This is the first time we are talking about this feature. There was a question about cost and metrics, and so as I said before, everything is, you can consume them with API or with dashboard, But also what we're going to do is inside the product, for each host pool, we're going to add a tab that's called Insights. And all of the information about the scaling, about cost, about performance will be there. And you'll be able to see on a Gantt what happened, when, and why. I mean, if there was a scale operation, two hosts was created or power on, you're able to see why, what is the policy that triggered this, and what are the performance at this time, and so on. So it's very visual way to see what is happening and understand. You will be able to see their historical events and costs by month, and cost by service, and also disk. This is storage. Storage are expensive, so we have some breakdown for storage cost and recommendation. We are planning to do a heat map, which is nice. I like heat maps. I don't see it enough. But what else? We're going to have AI insights. So you can't have a product and a presentation without talking about AI, right, in this year. So what we will do with all of the data we have, we're going to show you specific recommendation, what to do. If the scaling profiles are not good enough, we can show you a recommendation how to change it, sorry, to save some more cost or to have a better performance. If you don't have enough resource and because you're capping them too low, we can say, hey, we need more capacity because you have more users, or all of these changes. And of course, for storage and everything, because there is so many data. And of course, the AI assistant. AI assistant is already a product I think you're familiar with. And also there is the MCP. I saw a conversation next month. So AI assistant and the MCP, we're also going to integrate with this very, very soon. So you'll be able to just have a conversation with the AI assistant about your environment and ask him a question. And because there is so many data behind it, it will give you real insight. And all of this information is just there for you to ask question and get this information. That's it.
I love it. I love it. I love the roadmap. We had a comment in the chat, and it looks like it was the guy that asked one of the questions here is about the history, the reporting piece. The reimage host option coming soon seems like it would meet my requirements for. Oh no, different one. Meet my requirements for resetting machines to a desired image state on a schedule. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. I love seeing that. Gave it a red heart. Any
Yeah,
other
and if you
questions?
use the dynamic host, it's our policy for create and delete. So basically, based on this scaling plan, every day, all of the hosts or most of them, you will be able to set what is the minimum. So most of the hosts will be deleted and created again. But if, for example, the working hours you will provide is between 8 to 6, then the host will be created just at the morning and will be deleted at the end of the day. So outside of this business hour, there will be no host. And this is like you did in on-prem, just that you don't just create them and they're waiting for the next day at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. There won't be any hosts. You're able to save money with this.
I love
And
it.
if you are worried about what's happening in the morning, so you can set a policy to start a pre-stage, start deploying machines before, like at 6 p.m., start to deploy 50% of the machines. Okay, based on, again, everything based on policy and what makes sense for the organization.
Perfect. Do you have any stories from maybe a customer success story we have already? Maybe, do you want to share any cool things any customers are doing with it?
I can't think of any. I wasn't ready for this question.
I put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I should
but
have.
I have something. I have something, what I didn't show. Let me get back into the product. So we
Perfect. And
have,
I've go
sorry,
ahead. No,
uh,
go ahead, please.
I skipped it. I didn't talk about this, but in the scaling profile, we have something we call smart minimums. Smart minimum is yeah, it said prevent wasting money on holidays or empty shift, and it's exactly this. Okay, because you have a policy which is accurate for most of the time. But let's say there is on Wednesday there is a holiday. It's a bank holiday or anything, and you didn't change the policy, so machines won't be created. With this, you can allow this as a policy, and what it does, it will check the threshold and the time window. And let's say if in the it's here we have like exactly what it does. If the utilization is below 10% for 30 minutes, then ignore the minimum host rule and scale down to, and you configure it. This allow customer to save a lot of money by forget to set a policy in days that are holiday or anything like this. Because if you forget to change it, host will be up, host will be running, costing you money, and your customer just not logging in because they are on vacation. So this is a nice feature that we entered, and we actually one of our customer already had something like this, and he said, "Brilliant! I didn't thought about this, but it's very cool."
Very cool. Okay, I have a couple technical questions that came in. This is sort of interesting. Let's see if I can spit this out. So on scale-in, how do I handle graceful drain? Do you honor existing sessions, send user notifications, force log off after a timeout? And how do you avoid deallocating a host in mid-session?
So how we make the scale-in decision? We check again for the trigger, and if the trigger for scale-in met, we are looking for the host with the least sessions, and we are targeting him for scaling. We set him into drain mode, we send notification, we have the grace period, so we wait for this 20 minute, 30 minute, what you configure, and after this 30 minutes, if user didn't log off, we will force the log off him, and then we will shut down this host. But if he logged off before, we will see it and we will immediately power off this host.
Cool, cool. Here's another one, same gentleman. What signals actually drive scale out and scale in? Is it session count, CPU memory, available session buffer, or a blend? And can I wait or customize these triggers per pool, per host pool?
Yeah. So free session is mandatory. Okay, the free session for the pool, but CPU and memory are optional. You can configure them. So for scale up, scale out, it's all. It's if you say 80%, when the average will get 80%, we will deploy another host or two based on the policy. And for scale in, you have again, let's say 40%. So once it will get lower from 40%, it will start to scale in. So you have three of them today, and something important. Today we are using the Azure API. So all of the data come from the Azure API. But soon, when we will integrate with an agent, you will have the ability to deploy a ControlUp ONE agent. And when we will have this, we will be able to do a scale operation much more specific because we will get the data faster. Unlike Azure API, which is every minute, we'll get it faster, so we'll be able to do this operation more granularly.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. If you have any more questions, please use the Q&A piece or chat. I'm looking at both. And feel free to ask. Here's your chance to ask the man in charge. So one more here. Boy, this is getting difficult to read. So for least privileged deployments, which specific desktop virtualization RBAC roles do you recommend instead of a contributor? And do all DaaS IQ capability do all DaaS IQ capabilities, image push, host, create, delete, scaling, work without granting broad right at the subscription scope?
Okay, good question. So right now, our requirement is contributor on the subscription, but we are not enforcing this, and we're going to change the documentation soon. And we just finished testing, and we are doing some more tests with this. But you need a reader for the subscription, so we can see resource, and you will need contributor for the resource groups that you want to manage. So if you have a resource group with VM, you will need to give us a permission for this resource group, the contributor.
Perfect. Another one just came in. Well, actually, another one just came in. So two more. Is it possible to scale in without forced logout? So place a machine on drain mode and wait for the last user session to log out and have the VDI script trigger that looks for session idle over X time and that it auto signs them and then stop deallocates the machine.
So not forcing users to log off. Well, you can set the timing for unreasonable time, right? If you can, because we will get them into drain mode, so no new sessions. But if you, let's say, put a grace period for 2 hours, 3 hours, or more, they won't be kicked. But what will happen, they will be able to just be disconnected or something like this. But you can do it. Yeah.
Perfect. And he actually answered the second message that came in was him adding context. And the context says context for my forced logout question. We have users in different time zones, and a hard deallocate would be disruptive. Make sense?
The same host pool service users in different time zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't
Cool.
pick them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and the last one I have. So if you have any more questions, here's your time. And the last one I think I have. So is another long one. So DaaS IQ today onboards via a manual app registration, plus client secret and subscription IAM role. Is the control plane fully agentless, Azure ARM, Graph API only? Or does it eventually require the ControlUp agent on the session hosts for the operational DEX data? And is workload identity federated credentials on the roadmap to kill the client's secret rotation problem?
Oh my.
It's a good one, isn't it?
So yes, today we are using service principal. It's a manual service principal. We are not fully integrated with I forgot the name, but there is automatic way to do it. We're still not there. We will add it. So you will not need to create this, but you will have a pop-up of Azure. You need to give us a consent and have some approvals to do. And that's how we will do all of this app registration. But this is coming later. What else? Yes, right now it's agentless. Everything is with API. But as I said, we will integrate later with the new Agent One for ControlUp because we don't want to invest in the current agents. We want to be one of the first to use the new agent. And there is so many benefits of this because it's very modern, very new, very lean agent, and all of the data from the new agent is be shared with all application. So we will use this and you will be able to see the session host in devices, for example, okay, or in different places. And as I said, there is the image deployment, the application deployment. So again, you will have it once, and instead of a separate product with agent, all of our portfolio is converging into one product that integrate together, sharing all of the data, because we have so many data today in VDI and devices, and compliance have so many information and application. So we are working on integrate everything into one data lake, so we can have much more insights and information provided to you. I think I
Love it.
answered all the question. If not, sorry.
If not, please, let us know and ask a follow-up. And well, excuse me. And always, the community is a great place. So if you think of something later, or from this event, or just anything in general, feel free to go into the community and ask.
Yeah, go to Slack and ask question. I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. There's always someone poking around, and if we can't answer it, we'll go ask the man, right? So pull him back if he's busy in a call or something. So that's the last question we have. If there's any other questions, please feel free. Do you have any last words for us? Any other things you want to share? Anything that excites you? What's your favorite feature? Do you have a favorite feature? That's my
What's most
favorite
exciting
question.
to me is the application deployment. So you're able to manage it once, to have this configured, which application, which version you want to allow into your organization, and from there to deploy it into different devices, like your fleet, if it's AVD, if it's a laptop, whatever. I like it a lot because I used to do application deployment many years with SCCM, SMS, I think it was called before. And I used to watch logs for hours and to see how it's going on. And it's very excited to build this right now, better, more modern, and just to be able to do all of these things in the same platform, like for monitoring user sessions, experience, the infrastructure, and now deploying application. I think this is amazing to have everything in one place. Instead of going to all these different tools, and in where I worked, there was one doing the application deployment, one doing this, and nobody know exactly what each one does, and you couldn't see like what application are deployed where, and it will be everything in one place. In DaaS IQ, you will be able to see which application are deployed into this host pool, into this golden image. And in devices and compliance, you'll be able to see all of this information instead of going into different, like 10 different tools and see all of this is in one place. Experience, manage, cost, all together.
Perfect. Love it. I love it. That's it. So I thank you very much. I thank you all for attending. And if someone wants to learn more, what do they do?
Go to the community, Slack. We are there.
I didn't even tell them to say it. Usually
we didn't
I tell
prepare.
them, please don't forget the community. Please.
Yes.
And they're like, go to the knowledge base. I'm like, wait a second.
No, it's amazing because someone asking a question there, and like in 5 minutes, 10 different people inside ControlUp tell me, hey, someone asked a question, go answer. And it's like, and it's usually it's Yoni that say, hey, someone is in the community. So that's amazing. Yeah.
Exactly. We're not always the fastest to respond. Other thing, I think we do a good job. But internally, the messages are flying looking for the right guy, the best person to answer that question. So a nice pitch for the community. Hey, I thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I love the product. We'll bring you back on as you start you releasing more and more features. Like I mentioned, you released just 2 today, probably even more fixes and other stuff in there, but 2 that we posted in the community. And that's something else. As we release new products and features, anything, we post those in the community too in our product releases channel. So, hey man, thank you so much for taking the time today. It's at the end of the day for us, so we can start wrapping up our work, check our email, and call it a day, right?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Douglas. Thank you, everyone. Bye.